The fight for better wages and working conditions takes centre stage at the NUMSA National Bargaining Conference underway in Johannesburg. The three-day gathering brings together shop stewards from all the 9 regions to consolidate the union's demands under various sectors. These include the motor, auto, plastic, mining, bus passenger, aviation and road freight sectors, among others. SABC News economics reporter Nosipho Radebe is following this conference and joins us live. A very good afternoon to you, Nosipho. So what can you tell us?
A very good afternoon to you, Nompu, and of course to our viewers at home. Well, today, the first day, of course, of the 3-day NUMSA Bargaining Conference that has got underway here in Sandton. And we've heard from leaders of the union painting a sort of grim picture or a tough sort of economic climate in which this bargaining conference takes place. That being the VAT, the looming VAT hike, that putting pressure, expected to put pressure rather, on workers going forward. And of course, the global conditions outlined here as an issue that they are a challenge that they are faced with today. But one of the sort of other issues that was highlighted today was the changing world of work and what sort of issues or challenges that brings to the bargaining conference. But I'm going to bring in the NUMSA General Secretary, Ivan Jim, to sort of outline for us the concerns of workers going forward and also what we can expect from this 3-day conference going forward. And of course, a very good afternoon to you, General Secretary Ivan. Thank you so much, of course, for talking to us this morning. As I mentioned, the tough economic conditions outlined today, take us through your reflections.
Well, we assembling today is the first day of the bargaining conference. I will be addressing, I think, after lunch. Basically, as you heard the President, we dealing with all issues that that relate to socio-economic conditions that affect the working class. The VAT issue is a big issue. The fact that CPI is at 3%, and traditionally, the main sectors that are negotiating are sectors where we always secure 3-year agreements. So we're not going to be swayed by any idea that we can't negotiate and improve workers' wages and benefits because we are facing a state of an economy that is challenged for obvious reason. It could be bad now. We all know that capitalism goes through booms and busts, and businesses always make money. They restructure to make sure that their bottom line is not being affected. And of course, we must be vigilant because the geopolitical chemistry under which we are negotiating is very tough. We know that there is a particular posture which we'll unpack in the conference about Trump and the negativity with Elon Musk against South Africa. We know why we are suffering and we have become victims of their negative attitude simply because we took a stand against the genocide that is currently taking place. Women and children, as we speak, are being killed in Palestine. We will not compromise on that. We will going to stand on the basis of principle of international justice, which must be done. We need ceasefire. We need to ensure that all wars must stop because all of these wars are fought. It is the hands of the working class that fought the wars. It is the blood of the working class that gets spilled. It is women and children who have become a collateral damage. And clearly, the second attack now in Palestine means Trump's idea of cleansing Gaza is being executed in front of our eyes. And therefore, we cannot look back. We are very firm. And we must promote peoples-to-peoples democracy for international solidarity. And we are going to negotiate because employers must accept that the basket of food would have been 5,000 in February with the VAT, even though about 11 food items would have continued to go high with oranges. But with this 0.5 now that is being affected, we're back to that 5,000, which means for so many people who are dependent on few workers who work, basically it is going to be hard, difficult for them to live. And that is why we reject Godongwana's decision to impose VAT when, for years now, you will see in my presentation, there has been a consistent drop on the corporate tax. We're exposing that. We're asking the question, why target the poor when you continue to reduce the corporate tax to the capitalist class?
Now, General Secretary Ivan, another issue that was raised today was the changing world of work, and that's driven, of course, by the advancement of AI being one. Talk to us about how that's going to shape today's bargaining conference.
We have focused topics and people who are going to make contributions, and the panel that is going to engage with some of those particular challenges. But I mean, it's an old thing. Capital and the capitalist forces never stop to revolutionize forces of production. We have got a duty to make sure that workers are given hardcore skills that are on the cutting edges of the 21st century, and all the technological changes that are taking place. We must be on top of that, because both on energy and in the latest technologies, we're calling for just transition, that we must retain existing jobs, and therefore there's no replacement for preparing and skilling workers to ensure that our skill base is on the cutting edges to cope with the changes. And of course, one of the things we'll be sharply raising in the input this afternoon, what should be done to drive manufacturing industrialization? What must be done to protect the current capacity that we currently have? And issues of ownership and control of our minerals, for them to be targeted for beneficiation. We're raising sharp issues around chrome ore, manganese, where basically our view, we should not have been exporting jobs to China. We should not be allowing a situation where our smelters in South Africa are basically being mothballed. Minister Gwede Mandashe is being invited. We will be sharply raising those issues, both in the podium about what must be done. We'll be critiquing Transnet and what should be done. We can see the Department of Transnet want to concession the rail. We will be raising very sharp that we are against privatization. And if you are to say you want to engage with private sector, then those who own cargo, like Kumba iron ore, should not be allowed to basically own the rail, because we know that Sasol on the pipeline would have done that, and they didn't open that pipeline for other competitors. And therefore, iron ore is a critical input, and therefore concessioning of rail, we must be vigilant, because we are against privatization. Rail must be accessed. There are many junior miners in this country who must be able to access that particular line, who are currently not being allowed to do so.
All right, thank you so much, General Secretary. We'll leave it there. Of course, that was NUMSA Secretary Ivan Jim there, just highlighting the stance of the union and, of course, what will be happening over the next 3 days. Back to you in studio.
Thanks very much, my colleague there, Nosipho Radebe.